Welcome everybody to Third Winter. I am Dan. This is Oakley.
My name's Oakley.
And we're going to be talking about fan bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, specifically the Game of Thrones fan base. I think this is kind of just like almost like the long night discussion.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like our review wasn't that great of a review.
No.
We didn't really have any time to think about it. And so this is more like a podcast / video / review.
Review of the review
and
of
reviewing of fans.
Reviewing of the fans who reviewed The Long Night.
Yeah. Yeah, that episode wasn't really,
It wasn't accepted well.
Exactly.
And you made the comparison that it's the Last Jedi of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's just such a split fan base. Honestly, I didn't like The Last Jedi when I first saw it, but now I like it.
I'm whatever on it.
Yeah.
Nor good nor bad.
You really liked it when you first watched it, though.
No, I hated it when I first watched it.
Okay.
And then I liked it again, and then I just kind of went to lukewarm.
Okay. Well, I need to watch it a third time to see how I like it. But
yeah.
Pertaining to Long Night, have you watched it since?
I've watched it twice.
Nice.
3 times now. Thanks to your HBO account.
Yeah, no problem. I got your video account. It's good.
Yeah, we're good there.
What do you
I love this episode.
You still love it even more?
I like it more than I did the first time.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't understand why people are hating it so much. And I'm going to give you I'm not going to say hot take because that's garbage.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a take that I think a lot of people won't accept.
Mm-hmm.
The Long Night is less cliche than Battle of the Bastards.
I would agree.
I just...
Well, do people think that's cliche?
I don't know. Like, people love the Battle of the Bastards. It's like the highest ranked episode on IMDb. It's like a 9.9.
IMDb.
I said IMDb, right?
You said IMDb.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
Play
am.
back. Nitpicky.
But people are hating this episode, and there are some nitpicks that I could say that I don't love. But there are some things that I've found out since.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about some fan, do you want to discuss the fan reaction a little bit before we get into that?
Okay. So, from most people that I follow on Twitter, the response was really resounding. Yes, finally,
yeah.
This is a spoiler, by the way. It's going to be a spoiler, talk.
Yeah, you guys have all seen it.
But, when Arya kills Night King, everybody loves that. They're praising Arya. Everybody loves that.
My feeds are completely the opposite.
What's your feed?
Literally everybody. There's either some post, it's sometimes a post from Game of Thrones, showing the picture, and then people are saying, one person said that completely ruined the character arc of the Night King. I'm like, what character arc?
Yeah, what character arc?
I don't know if there is a character arc necessarily for the Night King. They could have had one, but the way I see it is Game of Thrones is, especially George R.R. Martin and Game of Thrones, obviously they're connected, but the way he writes is always the conflict of the human soul fighting against each other, good versus bad within themselves, not necessarily a big Lord of the Rings style Sauron versus men,
right?
Good versus evil, very black and white. Game of Thrones has always been very gray. And don't get me wrong, Lord of the Rings is some of my favorite movies of all time. It's my childhood favorites.
Yeah, great books.
But Game of Thrones is not Lord of the Rings. It's inspired by Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we went from going through a black and white villain to a morally gray, complex villain as Cersei Lannister.
Exactly.
And that's exciting for me.
Yeah.
Because up till season 6, I was never really concerned about the Night King. I obviously was concerned, but the politics and the fight for the throne was always the bigger part of the show for me.
Absolutely. And the thing is that the Night King is completely black and white. He kills people. He's just trying to take the world into the long night, and that's what all we saw.
I mean, there was a comparison, and I guess this is more on the argument for people that didn't like the episode, is that the Night King was trying to get back at the children of the forest and the men, because the men forced the children of the forest to make him, and he hates them for making him, so he was trying to get back at everybody because of that. Okay. Which still could be true.
Yeah, but it's still it's still kind of a black and white thing.
It is kind of, the thing is you got a character that doesn't talk.
Yeah, that too.
You have this menacing evil that is just so overpowered. Like, how are you supposed to beat this guy other than stabbing him with Valyrian steel or a dragon glass?
Yeah.
So, and not to mention that he can raise the fucking dead.
Yeah.
So, there's the moment in the trailer where, or not in the trailer, in the episode,
right,
when Jon Snow's running at him.
Yeah.
And then he raises the dead.
Yeah.
You guys have all seen it. First off, he just raised at least 10,000 guys right there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe less. But it's a substantial amount.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of people left. Dany's got her army gone.
Basically.
How many Dothraki did she have? Not to mention she had 8,000 Unsullied at the end of season 5, so it could be slightly different now. But that's a massive army. So would you rather have a cliche ending of them escaping or a cliche ending of how he dies?
I don't think it was even that cliche.
I don't think it was, but the thing is people see it as cliche.
Why do they see it as cliche, do you think?
Because they hype this character up for 8 seasons, which, first off, false.
Yeah. I don't think
they hyped up the White Walkers. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And I guess the essence of the White Walkers. They hyped him up since season 4. That's when his first appearance is.
Well, his first appearance was season 1, episode 1.
Well, no, not his appearance. The White Walkers appearance.
Yeah, the White Walkers appearance, but not the Night King.
Night King was season 4. Yeah. He's not even in the books.
Yeah.
They're just the others.
Yeah.
So my thing is I don't know why that's such a bad... Like, how are they supposed to get out of that? It reminds me of the meme of the guy eating cereal, watching the 9th episode of Game of Thrones. Yeah. And it's like, Ned Stark's about to get executed. He's like, oh, he's going to get out of this. And then he cuts off his head, and then he spits everything out.
Yeah.
It's like, do the fans really want them to just get out of this somehow?
Yeah.
It's unrealistic. Yeah. And if the Night King doesn't raise the dead, it's unrealistic. People would be like, why didn't he raise the dead?
Yeah. They would be unhappy either way.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think people are frustrated, and there are some parts that I agree. I don't know. I want to hear... I've been talking a lot. Okay. I want to hear some of your thoughts.
Okay, so, like, I agree with, like... I understand with a lot of what they're saying. Like, he was a slightly developed character. You want to see where it comes from, and you want to learn more about him. But, like... Honestly, he was just a guy. He's just some guy that they took and, like, made a White Walker.
I mean, could have been a Stark.
Could have been a Stark, but like at the same time. I hate
when people say he's Targaryen because he didn't burn. Like, oh my gosh.
He's like the essence. He's like the coldest thing alive. He's not going to...
He also walked through fire in season 6.
I don't think that he's Targaryen.
Well, the Targaryens didn't come until like 4,000 years later.
Yeah.
There's a cool theory, though, that Arya's dagger. The reason it was called Cat's Paw is because that's what the guy's name was that tried killing Bran.
Yeah.
So that's not the actual name of the dagger, but some people believe that it might be Aegon the Conqueror's dagger, as in that he came to Westeros for a reason, and that was because of the Long Night. And he brought that dagger with him, and that was the dagger that killed him. It also had rubies in it, in the handle, which... Rhaegar Targaryen is very known for rubies.
Interesting. I did not know that.
It's a cool little touch.
Yeah, but I think more like just logistics, I guess, of the episode were...
It's realistic.
Yeah, it's realistic.
Like, I get the darkness thing, but I liked it because it made you... it made it very.
They're not.
What's the word? Not virtual, but
realistic.
Yeah, I was thinking of another word for realistic, but it's like you were there on the army.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the battlefield,
and it's not. They're not gonna have like a bunch of spotlights.
Yeah,
there's no light pollution. There's like none of that.
The Nerd Soup actually talked on this because they said, they were referencing it somebody else's tweet. They're like, oh, I can't wait. I just watched Helm's Deep. I can't wait to watch Game of Thrones because it's going to be all black. And then if you look at Helm's Deep, it's like literally looks like it's spotlighted.
Oh, yeah.
Spotlit. It's unrealistic.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And they did that for like so you could see the most action that you could.
With the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it was a cool effect. Like when the Dothraki went out and like with their flaming swords and like disappeared.
Yeah.
That was a cool effect. Like these small things made sense.
Yeah.
And it added, we're at some like deep down inside of us, we're all afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
Because that is something that we're not actually that great at seeing.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. It's dark.
It's dark. Our eyes aren't that great for that.
Yeah.
And like just through natural instinct, we're afraid of that. That's why we created fire. That's why we started having light bulbs.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to make things brighter.
See, that's a good point.
But that's not Game of Thrones. It's medieval.
That's a great point you make there because the way I was like, people say, this is a quote, I don't know by who, just someone on social media, the Night King went out like a bitch.
Oh, I think they're mostly joking.
I don't know, though, because I've seen that a lot. Like, people are really, like...
Pissed off about it.
But the way I see it is the Night King is literally controlling every one of those soldiers on the ground.
Yeah.
He's controlling each dead person in the army. He's also controlling the White Walkers. Mm-hmm. I mean, the White Walkers might have more of a... Free will. I don't know exactly. We can go into the religion of White Walkers in another episode. No, we're not. But
yeah, let's do that.
Definitely not. But you realize that he's literally swamping their asses just himself.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Oh, yeah.
He's controlling everybody and anybody. But it just... I guess it's an episode that I feel like people are just kind of looking surface level.
Yeah, I agree.
And like people think, oh, Azor Ahai, is Arya, and this Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised or princess that was promised, was never. It was just a big ploy, and just added up to nothing.
And
which I don't agree because first off, Arya is not Azor Ahai.
Mm-hmm.
Azor Ahai is said to bring the dawn. And the two suitors for Azor Ahai, or even Azor Ahai might be the two, is Dany and Jon.
Right.
And if it weren't for Dany and Jon, what would have happened in that battle? There wouldn't have been a battle.
Dead. Yeah.
The White Walkers would have hit them by surprise.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, also, like, Jon was a great sister to Arya. Like,
brother
to Arya.
Yeah.
He cared for her. He gave her a sword before he left.
Yeah.
He's the one that helped her set out on her path.
Yeah, exactly. And then the green eyes, blue eyes things. We'll touch on that in a minute with the Cersei thing because I think that's bullshit too.
Okay.
But the thing is you're in that situation. If you're in that battle, do you really care who kills the Night King?
No.
Or do you care that you're gonna
care that he dies?
Yeah,
because that motherfucker needs to leave.
That's my thought process. Is like I would have cared less if it was like freaking Dolores Ed throwing a spear across the courtyard.
Yeah.
I mean that wouldn't have happened, but it didn't bother me the way he died. He needed to die there, or else what would have happened? And then it takes away from Cersei.
Absolutely,
one of the biggest characters, arguably. The biggest villain, for sure. But she's kind of a co-lead in a sense. Obviously, you got Jon,
Don John. We got Daenerys.
I actually haven't seen that movie, but I just used their couple name.
Oh, Don. That's cute. Yeah, Daenerys and Jon.
Yeah. And then Tyrion.
Yeah.
Tyrion kind of taking a back seat. So,
yeah.
And it's kind of Arya been taking up that other spot, and Sansa a little bit.
Sansa a little bit, yeah. Especially lately.
But they brought the Dawn. They brought the army.
Hell yeah.
So why aren't they Azor Ahai? Because they didn't kill the Night King?
I think that's stupid.
I think the one, I guess, warranted... there are probably more, but a couple warranted complaints about this episode was, why is Ghost running with Jorah? Doesn't make sense. For me, at least.
Right.
Because it's Ghost. Jon and Ghost. Why would he be... He has nothing to do on that front line. What is he going to do to the dead? Nothing.
Yeah.
He has survived. He's in the trailer.
Yeah.
And we'll hit that on our recap video. This is kind of our review or preview.
Right.
This is kind of a recap of the first 3 episodes, even though we're focusing on 1 right now.
Yeah.
But I just don't. The other warranted things is I think some people could have died. Brienne, Grey Worm. They could have died. But then it could have overshadowed Theon, or, you run the risk.
Jorah.
And we don't know necessarily who else has died.
Yeah, that's part of it. But I also don't think that they would kill off a main character off screen.
Yeah.
I just don't think they would do that.
I think they realized, and this could be an issue with just the thought process of the writing, is they're like, oh, we need to kill people, but we don't want to take away, like they said in the explained video, I guess the little recap video they have at the end of each episode. They explained that they didn't want to take away from the big moments of Jorah, Theon, Beric,
Melisandre,
and Lyanna. And then you have Ed as well. Ed was really kind of a throwaway character, but
he's enjoyable.
He's enjoyable. Funny. But what I'm like, I think they thought, like, we've also decimated 2 armies.
Yeah.
So I think there are going to be more deaths. I think there's going to be a little bit of a battle. I think it's going to have to be a way more strategic battle, and that's where Tyrion's going to have to come in. We'll talk a little bit more. But I can see that, but I can also see the complaints of characters not dying.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that there's a certain amount of, like, give you have to have for these characters. Is like, you can't rewrite what is prophesied in a way.
Yeah, and prophecy doesn't necessarily have to be taken so literal.
Yeah, that too.
Like
you were talking about earlier.
Jon and Dany brought the Dawn.
Yeah, they brought the Dawn.
They weren't. It's just like how Missandei said to Sansa. It's like, you're right. If she wasn't here, we'd all be dead. Mm-hmm. There'd be no problem at all. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And if Jon wasn't here, Dany wouldn't have believed him.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about life is that there's so many small things, so many small actions or big actions that have even bigger consequences.
Yeah.
Like sitting in a coffee shop, you meet a girl.
Yeah.
And then you don't think much of it. And then you meet her again, but then you meet her friend.
Yeah.
And then you end up marrying her. Just like a small little action.
Or even like, save somebody's life by smiling at them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's even better. Like, it's a small action that has a big consequence.
There's a theory. I do want to touch on this before I have one question to ask you, but when Jon stands up, sorry to get off on that. When Jon stands up and yells at Viserion, you remember that part?
Thanks.
So when he's hiding from Viserion and people are mad that he's hiding from a dragon, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you stand up against
it's
freaking
a
fire.
Dragon.
Yeah. But when he stands up, he's like yells at him, and it's right before Arya kills the Night King.
Right.
It kind of sounds like he says, "Go, go, go."
Yeah.
So my theory, actually it's not my theory because I actually saw it on Instagram. I don't know who it was posted by, and I'm sure there's others. It was like World of Ice and Fire, maybe. I can't remember.
This they probably stole from like some Redditor.
Yeah, it was just, whatever. It's mine now. it's kind of interesting that if he does say go go go, then maybe Arya he was distracting the dragon so Arya could get past him to get to the Night King because he knew he couldn't.
Yeah,
which would be cool.
That would be awesome because
first off, their connection together, but then my phone's just going off like crazy.
You got too many.
What's that?
You're too popular, man.
I guess. No. But then it actually shows that John's willing to do what's best. He just leaves his friends, He's
always been like that.
But, like, he walks past, like, Sam and all of them fighting off the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try to kill the Night King until he can't. It's not about fame for him. No. It's about killing the Night King.
It's about saving the people they love, in a way.
Yeah. And I like that theory. I don't know if we'll ever get that, but...
be cool.
I don't love things explained to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually was talking about some friends with that last night. We were all sitting around in a coffee shop and we're like, I was talking about like poetry.
Yeah.
And it's like poetry is something that is ambiguous. Like you can have so many meanings for one poem, for one word in a poem.
Yeah.
And why try to find the real meaning?
Exactly. I don't know. It just, I would rather think about things.
Yeah.
That's why Blade Runner works for me.
Yeah.
That's why Annihilation worked this last year, or Hereditary.
Yeah.
It's better on rewatch. You find these little Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah. Even like, again, I'm going to go back to Call Me By Your Name, which is my favorite movie.
Yeah. I go back to Blade Runner all the time, so it's good.
Like, you see these small little things that just like add more and more to the story. Like small little like cinematography choices, small little like framing shots.
Yeah.
These things add to the story and like add more insight. So it's just like things that you're able to learn and talk about and see for yourself that you can pick up.
For sure. Yeah, man. I just don't agree.
Yeah.
Oh, before we move on to just talk about those last couple episodes, like as the first half of the season as a whole, because I feel like these are two different stories. Yes. But how do you feel about like fans deserving?
I think that's stupid.
Well, like that we were talking about this before, and I was talking about this with my friend at work, Jose. You know, he's a bitch. That's right, Jose, you're a bitch. Been waiting to say that.
Wow.
For so long. But when people say they deserve a better ending or they deserve better character development, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because you sit your ass on the couch, you pay for a subscription to watch it. You don't have to pay for a subscription to watch Game of Thrones.
You don't
have to pay for a ticket to go see The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You don't deserve anything. First off, these characters, these actors, the director, Miguel Sapochnik, the cinematographer, all the stunt guys, all the editors, they worked their asses off.
Yeah.
Day and night. They shot for 55 days, for goddamn sake.
Yeah. Just to give you something that they found to be amazing.
Yes.
And that they loved. They love doing this,
and
I'm sure.
My biggest problem is when people target these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like that Angry Joe guy. I don't even know. This is what Jose told me. Again, Jose, you're a bitch. But he told me that that the Angry Joe guy said that D.B. Weiss and David Benioff are the worst writers. I'm like, God damn it.
What?
Have you ever written anything?
Yeah.
And if you have, is it good?
Yeah.
Is it a screenplay? How many subscribers do you have?
Yeah. Compared to the millions of people that watch Game of Thrones.
You realize that whether you like Game of Thrones or not, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss have given you some of the most complex TV there has been. Ever. Yes, season 5 wasn't great. Season 7 wasn't great. I thought season 6 was damn good. And I thought season 4 to 1 were amazing. They've given us better TV than anything that's ever, even season 5, the worst season of the show, in my opinion, is better than anything else on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Other than, like, Breaking Bad. But Breaking Bad's got 5 perfect seasons.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me why people would target people that work so hard just to bring you enjoyment, but then you're going to be disappointed.
And, like, a part of that is, like, I was talking about it. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but like I hate it when people bag on people that work on stuff. Like that includes like the actors.
Yeah.
Like this is like a long ago topic, but like the actor for Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but like he like had the suicidal issues.
Yeah, he had such suicidal issues. Here, I'm gonna look him up so we can give some respect.
He's had a really tough time because people just bag on him.
Yeah,
it's just there's a toxic. Like I didn't think Game of Thrones ever got this toxic.
Yeah,
and so it's just there's such a toxic environment around fandom in general. I thought it was kind of exclusive to, not necessarily exclusive, but prominent in Star Wars. And I know there has been Marvel DC stuff, never really internal.
No.
But like usually they stay pretty loyal.
Right.
I just thought Game of Thrones fans were a little bit more loyal. And I know negative always outweighs positive.
Yeah, you see the
negative
things. Right.
But you always hear the people that yell the loudest.
Yes.
And those are always negative.
Yeah.
You don't always, I guess you're hearing us right now rant about how good this episode is.
Yeah.
I think it's not necessarily a masterpiece, but I think it's great. It's
fantastic.
What was his name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed Best?
Ahmed. Yeah. Ahmed Best.
I remembered it kind of.
Yes. But, like, he worked a lot to, like, portray that character. And, like, he did his best to George Lucas.
He read the script. He performed the actions.
Yes. He did his best.
He made his money.
Yes. And he did what George Lucas wanted.
And it almost costed his life.
Yeah, because he did his job. And it's the same thing with Rose, I think, from The Last Jedi. Like,
you might not like the character.
I
didn't like the character.
I didn't
but am I
particularly like her either. But like
yelling at Kelly Marie Tran on Twitter?
Yeah,
no,
stupid. Or on Instagram, it's like she is an actress. She works hard, and that was probably the best she could do. Like with that character, because that character wasn't particularly well written.
Yeah,
and you shouldn't bag on people who just are doing their jobs to do their best.
Yeah.
Because that's
like,
all they're doing.
Guy that played Joffrey.
Yeah.
Jake something. Gosh dang it. I can't remember his last name.
Irish kid.
Yeah, he's definitely an Irish kid. He quit acting. I don't know necessarily the reasons why, but I can imagine he's probably gotten a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah. Because he was like one of the... Jack Gleason.
Oh, Jake Gleason. Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. No, Jack Gleason, yeah.
Yeah. But like he quit, you know?
Yeah, because people are like, oh, you're Joffrey, you're terrible. Because he was, a terrible person in the show.
Yeah.
But in real life, he seemed like a very nice person. If you ever seen him like in videos, he's very polite, nice to the fans.
Yeah.
He tries to be that way. And like, you shouldn't judge. Like, there's a point where the place where reality and TV and movies like verge on some people. They merge into one thing where you can't tell the difference between Joffrey and Jack Gleason.
Well, see, and some maybe, I don't think Jack Gleason's that way. Everyone says he's nice.
Yeah.
But I guess he could be a Joffrey, but I doubt it.
Yeah, if you're Joffrey, concerning.
Yeah. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is Game of Thrones is TV.
Yeah.
It's not your life. I know as well as most everybody. I plan to read the books and no, I haven't. But I love the show with like all my heart. Like it's personal to me. There's a lot of personal things about it that I found personal to me, and that's emotional. But I realize it's a TV show.
It's a TV show.
Like it's people's jobs. You shouldn't be.
They're here to bring us entertainment.
Yeah.
They're here to make us like think and act and feel.
Like, you could say they're the worst writers ever. Probably better than you.
Most likely.
I mean, they crafted at least four perfect seasons. And probably, I feel like they've done a really good job.
So far. Yeah.
And, you might be mad at some characters. And you realize that adapting a book
to a show
5 books that are probably meant to be like 20. Not really, but
they're long books.
They're long. They're very complex and sometimes convoluted. Like this, George R. R. Martin wrote these stories to be unadaptable.
Yeah, basically.
And I feel like they've done a pretty damn good job. You know, they might not have Lady Stoneheart or the Ariane storyline from Dorne. It's
a lot to fit.
You can't necessarily give every storyline that, because then it just seems like it goes forever.
Yeah.
You can't have 24 episodes a season that are an hour long.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think... Okay, we'll move on to the other 2 episodes, but do you think this episode... Because I heard this on a podcast too, that it makes the other 2 episodes, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Winterfell, filler episodes.
No.
I don't think so either, really. Other than they do set up a lot of like people that could die.
Well, that's the thing, is that like it's set up, not filler.
Yeah.
And
I feel like there's really great character moments, though.
Yeah, there's really great character moments, especially between Daenerys and Jon.
Yeah, and also Jaime and Brienne.
Yeah.
You know, or Jaime and Tyrion.
Yeah.
Or Jon and Arya.
Especially with the second episode.
Yeah.
Like, all of these characters came together, and they're like, it's that calm before the storm in such a way it creates a greater setup for the third episode being so freaking action-packed. And you have so many characters that have intimate moments, like Arya and Gendry.
Yeah.
It's an intimate moment. And then, like,
it's realistic.
It's realistic. And then you have intimate moments with Tyrion and the rest. And, like,
say what you will. It's a slice of life.
It's a slice of life. And I think that was...
In Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, these characters can have lives too.
Yeah. It makes them more human.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them more relatable. If they were robots, yeah, like, they're not as relatable. But that's, like...
I can,
within Westworld, they're relatable. And they're robots.
I can argue that, but that's not for this.
Yeah. But, I don't think they're filler. I think they're great setup episodes. I think that maybe the first one's a little bit filler, but the
first one, like, I feel like there were some nice moments.
Yeah, they're nice
moments. And I think they're setting up for like a rift in the Targaryen house.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit more, but a little bit in the next video. But I do think I think judging these first 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. You'd probably need to wait till the end of the season.
Oh yeah,
because you're not getting the whole story.
Absolutely.
It's just like The Last Jedi, and I get it. That movie's not that perfect. There's a lot wrong with it, but you also haven't seen the end of the story,
right?
Which a lot of people hated Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but then once they saw
the end of the story, they liked it better, and I mean,
it's not the favorite.
It's not the favorite, but you get good moments.
Yeah.
And that make certain movies better. And that's what I like, my reservations when people say, oh, The Rise of Skywalker is going to suck. Yeah. It's like, that movie could make the whole franchise better. You don't know that. You haven't seen it yet. It's just like we haven't seen seasons or episodes 4, 5, and 6.
You can't say that it sucks.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because I feel like we've ranted and raved, and
we're negatively, positively talking about the show.
See, I especially like the last 2 episodes. The first one, it was like a 7. Like,
it was an average Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7 point.
Yeah, it's a Game of Thrones episode.
It's like a 7 point direwolf.
Beowulf?
Direwolf.
Okay. 7 point direwolf.
Cool. It's just average,
Yeah,
it was a prologue. It's an episode that
nobody likes reading the prologue. Nobody likes reading the prologue. It's important. You should do it, but nobody likes reading the prologue.
Yeah, and I mean, they could have probably cut some stuff out, maybe brought those 2 episodes together, but I don't necessarily think they needed to.
No, me either.
It just, I'm excited because we got 4 hours left.
4 hours.
and 3 120 or 80-minute episodes.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have a lot to go, and I'm excited for it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't have much more to say. This is kind of just like to get stuff off my chest of how frustrated I've been the last couple days. This has been a therapy session for me, and that's kind of why I wanted to shoot it.
That's good.
I don't like this episode. This is kind of a filler episode.
This is a filler episode for us,
but I'm excited.
Me too.
But yeah, that's gonna be it from us today.
Yeah.
On this episode.
So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share with your friends, your family, your dog, your direwolf.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah. Your loved ones, your girlfriend, if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you know, whatever you want.
If you're dating your sister.
If you're dating your sister,
don't do that. That's gross.
Good luck from Tennessee.
Hey, you know, I'm not gonna step in the way of love. You know, I support Jamie and Cersei.
Yikes.
Who am I to step in the way of their love?
But
love you guys. Third Winter-ish on Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Third Winter Podcast on SoundCloud. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well,
yeah,
we'll see you later. Love you.
Valamagulus.